Hey everybody, it's Darlene Taylor and welcome back to another episode of The Recycled Mom. Today I want to talk to you about surviving the holidays with your family. If you're like us and you have someone in your family who likes to be the quiz master of your children, this episode is for you. Okay, so the quiz master. I think you know what I mean by this, and I think you have all encountered this as a homeschool family, as a homeschool mom, or even as a stay-at-home mom. This might even apply to you as well, because some people just don't understand what we do. We go against the grain. We are not the normal. What do you mean you stay at home? What do you mean you stay at home and homeschool your children? That just goes against the norm these days, and that can be scary, or a lot of people just don't understand that. And we homeschool families, we stay-at-home moms, get to experience that up front. Every day. We live it, we see it, we experience it, we hang out with other people that are like us, so we see what they do, but our family, not so much, right? They are either, maybe they're far away, they're, a few hours away, or, maybe they're just a little bit, down the road where we don't see them often, but, they're not in our house living our life, experiencing what we're experiencing. They didn't do that. I know my parents didn't do that. I grew up going to public school. My mom worked. It was just my mom and I was a latchkey kid. I came home. I had a key around my neck. That's why we're called latchkey kids. Was by myself until my mom got home. Today, stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home homeschool mom, that's just like, wow. A lot of people will say, hats off to you. I don't think I could ever do that. I couldn't put up with my kids. And, well, let me tell you, neither can I. So, the holidays, okay? This is a time when we have a lot of family that gets together, extended family. They see you come, they kind of maybe know that you homeschool. Maybe they do know that you homeschool. They just don't understand it. And a lot of things, emotions, feelings, awkwardness can arise. So here are some things for us to keep in mind, okay? This is common, okay? Don't forget that. This is a common thing. You go to other homeschool conferences, you sit in on some webinars, you go to, practicum. This is a common problem. This is a big frustration in a lot of homeschool families. The common complaint seems to be our families are just not understanding what we do. When we don't get that support from family, from friends, we doubt our choice that we made to homeschool. So you go to your family gathering, okay, and you have someone there we'll call the quiz master, okay? You'll hear this a lot. I'm sure you've heard it and you probably experienced it. There's someone in your family that either makes it their point to quiz your children, on their times tables or the stock market. Check their reading, have them read the Wall Street Journal for you, and they want to test your children, or they want to, see how they're doing, and but do they do that to the other children that are there, the other, grandchildren, or, nephews and nieces? Do they do that as well? Why is it that they feel that they need to do that to us homeschool families? This person, if you have one in your family like this, is now called the quiz master. I don't know why. I know I'm not the only one. I've talked with other moms in groups, and they have the same kind of thing. There is always one person in the family that seems to feel that they need to quiz you on how your children are doing and what grades they're getting and what level they're at in reading, and how fast are they in this. And I'm just like, what? It's none of your business. Can they add and subtract? Yes. Can they do, the basic math that they will need to do to be able to be a productive citizen in society? Yes. Will they be able to manage their finances? Yes. Will they be able to understand taxes and interest rates, things for loans? And yes, they will be able to understand that stuff. But the stock market, I'm not on the stock market. In fact, there are people with my husband's retirement package and our life insurance packages, they do that for us. I am not watching the stock market every day because I don't have a portfolio. But anyway. Point is, there are these people in your family and you're going to encounter them during the holidays. And what are you going to do when this comes up? What I did was I sat down and had a chat with them, and I was straight up and I said, look, we're here to see you. We're here to visit with you. We are on vacation. This is not school time. My kids are here to make memories with you and not be quizzed on school stuff. If you want to know what they're doing in school, and you want to hear about projects that they're doing, papers, that kind of stuff, things they're doing, I will be happy to include you. I will be happy to share more with you about what we're doing in school, and if that is what you are looking for. But as far as the kids go, this is just a time to be with you and not to be quizzed. I want to enjoy the holidays with you. I want to enjoy this family time with you. And the time that we do have, I want to be fun and not have to be worried about where my child, my 16-year-old child, ended up spending the rest of the night upstairs in her room. Now she's intimidated. That's not what I want to happen. And I'm sure that's not what you want to happen. So I would suggest that you find that the situation is starting to happen. You hear the questions being asked, or you kind of see it coming. You can head it off at the pass, and you can ask your child, hey, Jimmy, why don't you quote the Beatitudes. Tell grandma about what you read about the other day that you thought was so fascinating. Tell grandma about the project that you worked on, da-da-da-da. Something that they already have done and that they excelled in, they're comfortable talking about. Rather than, having to be put on the spot. If math or reading or something that they're asking about happens to be a subject that they are not doing well in, but even so, what is that? What's that definition? They're doing well for where they need to be. My child is not probably going to be where you think they should be or where this other person is, but my child is where she needs to be for where she's at in her life, for what she needs to know. That's where she is. She does not need to be a math whiz. Does she need to be able to do math? Does she need to be able to understand algebra? To be able to do it? Yes. But to be quizzed on it as if it's some kind of let's see how well you homeschool. I'm sorry, I don't homeschool for the purpose of regurgitating information. Or just to possess knowledge. In our homeschool, we talk about current events. We take the things that we are reading in our books, and we take time to talk about them, discuss them, have an opinion about, what do you think about that? I want my kids to understand the why behind everything, not just to have the information, to have it, to know it, I used to get really angry about these situations about this time because it's happened a few times. And there used to be a lady at my church. She's not even related to me, but she would come up because she knew that we were using the same curriculum. And so periodically through the year, she would come up to me and she'd say, well, what lesson are you on? And I'm like, what? You're not my principal. You're not my, hello? And I told her, what we're doing just fine, thank you. Progressing along day by day. Really? I used to get really, upset and paranoid about these situations, knowing that family time is coming. We either have family coming or we're going to visit family, and I would stress, a couple weeks before we would go, and I would try to quiz my kids, and it's like I'm preparing them for the SAT or something. You know, I'm trying to cram all this information in and trying to memorize states and capitals and, you know, times tables and that kind of thing, and making sure that they can add, and trying to press all this information in there because I'm trying to what? Impress somebody? No, it shouldn't be like that. Because I thought I was going to be attacked, I wanted my kids to be able to perform and to be able to pass the Quizmaster's test. So no, we weren't going to do that anymore. Okay, and so one, I prepared my little spiel to sit down and have with someone if the need comes. I've also have talked to my kids about how to handle situations with grace. I'm going to read something for you. Then I hope this will encourage you. This is from Seton's founder and homeschool pioneer, Dr. Mary Kay Clark, and she says, "We parents need to have confidence in ourselves, confidence in the graces which God gave us, and confidence from our own life experiences and knowledge. We can know and must demand what is best for our children." I want to just point out that we parents need to have confidence in ourselves. Confidence in our abilities, confidence in this is our homeschool. This is what my child needs. I know what my child needs, and I'm giving my child the best education to fit what they need to know right now to meet their needs. Okay, not what everybody else says that they need to have at this particular time. You know, and that's the beauty of homeschool. That's why we're all doing this, is so that we can teach our kids what they need to know when they need to know it. And I want us all to just remember that we have confidence in ourselves, you know, confidence in our life experiences, confidence in our abilities. We are the best person to teach our children. I mean, if we can teach them for the first 5 years of their life to walk and talk and get dressed and brush their teeth and go to the bathroom, you know, and do all of these things, and, you know, don't bite, and, you know, sit still, and, you know, share your toys, and know this and yes that, we're great for doing that and teaching them how to be, you know, little good people. But yet we can't teach them anything else in life. I mean, how did we ever survive before public school institution came along, right? So, somebody told me, and I'm going to tell you, is that to remember our family, or whoever is approaching and is the quiz master, that they are not the enemy. They love you. They love your children. They just don't understand. And a lot of times when people don't understand, they don't know what to ask. They don't know what to say. You know, there's this awkwardness. So they say what everybody else says, what they think they need to say. You know, oh, hey, you know, Jimmy, what's up? What are you doing in school? They always talk about school. You know, nothing like, you know, well, what do you like to do these days? What's Jimmy up to? You know, what are your interests? What are you doing in school? That's the question. What grade are you in? You know, what kind of grades do you get? You know, where do you go to school? And then all of a sudden, you know, homeschool. I homeschool. And they're like, you know, they don't know what to ask. We take it as the conversation being nosy, but they really just don't know what to say, and they go to default questions. Try to be understanding. Try to put yourself in their shoes. They just don't understand. We are doing something that's different than the norm, and so they just don't know how to respond. And stupid things are going to get said. I do think that you should be prepared with some kind of a response if something does happen and the quizmaster pops out and starts giving an SAT right there. So, you know, taking them aside and telling them, hey, I think we need to have a chat. I just want you to know, you know, that I understand. I appreciate your concern. I mean, we're just here to have a good time with family. We're on vacation. This is not school time. This is not a test environment. This is a family environment. And we want it to be a positive experience for them, that whenever they come and see you, that they don't have to be afraid. that they have to perform for you, or that they have to have, they have to pass some kind of a test. I just want them to come here. They just want to come here, and they just want to have fun with you. So can we just do that? Can we just have fun and leave the schooling outside of it? And do tell them if you have questions. I'll be happy to share with you everything that we're doing with school. If you want to know, then I'll be happy to share with you, and I'll sit down and talk with you. I'll call you once a week. I'll send you stuff that you can hang on your refrigerator. I mean, whatever. If you want to brag on my kids, I'll give you stuff to brag about. So there's no need to pull my children aside or put them in the spot. My daughter said it makes her feel uncomfortable, awkward. She doesn't feel like it's right. She feels that there's something wrong, and I don't want that relationship to be bad. I don't want that to be clouded where they're always afraid, I better brush up on my times tables, or they're gonna, no, I don't want it to be like that at all. Just like, hey, we're going there, and I always have a great time when we go, because we play games, or we, go to the beach, we go to the museum. I just know that you got to have a game plan when you're heading into the holidays. Just remember that, you're not the only one, you're not alone. The Quizmaster is not the enemy. So I hope that is a help to you. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season whenever you're watching this, or even just a wonderful vacation while you're visiting your family. And don't ever forget your why you started this and why you're doing what you're doing, because that will keep you going, and that will keep you grounded, so that you'll be able to stand on that ground when someone starts to question, or start to do something a little funny. So you just keep on remembering that. I hope that you will like this video and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at The Recycled Mom, and you can also visit our private Facebook group for more discussion on this topic and other topics that we have in the group with other recycled moms. Y'all take care. See you next time. Bye.